We're going to talk to Dameshek today. He'll catch us up on the fantasy football draft where they kick somebody out.
That just happened. Or when did that happen?
A few weeks back.
Right before the season, yeah.
Always good to hear how someone got thrown out of the league. Always delighted that John Hamm got tossed out. Maybe multiple times. All right. So personal trials and tribulations. I live and oftentimes work. I've always lived in houses where the phone doesn't really work.
Like the landline.
You're there.
Yes.
Right.
And I do not have a landline. And I was calling in a Tim Conway Jr. show last night. And I did it from my office where the phone frequently works, but it was not working. And we ended up kind of getting cut off. And they said, we'll pick it up. And then I walked out to the corner of the patio where it frequently works, but it was not working. And then I found myself last night standing in the street, down the street from my house, calling where it was not working. And then that was the end of the interview.
Oh.
We tried 3 times. We could not get through. I don't know whose side it was on. I assume it was mine.
Yeah.
But phone working in the house. I've said, people say to me, I'm looking to buy a house. What should I do? Check the foundation? And I'm like, well, the guys do that. The home inspector will check the foundation. I'm going to add something. Go there on Monday at 5 and see if Waze is taking everyone the shortcut way down your street where your kid's going to get run over. And then B, walk throughout the house with your cell phone.
Yes.
Call somebody.
Get a signal.
Call me. Call me. That's a service I'll provide. And then you just walk to every corner of the house, walk into the master bedroom and the kitchen, because then it's not just the house. So I was on a conference call early this morning, and what happens is I can do it from my office, but I can't make it into the kitchen without it breaking up. And at some point, I want a cup of coffee. So I try to keep the conversation going into the kitchen, but it then breaks up into the place where I can get the coffee.
I'm so glad you said that, because my thing's always been check the water pressure. Just, can I turn your faucet on? Can I turn your shower on? Take a dip. So that's a good one, too.
Freshen up.
But also, the other, what we need to get you now, I am no technical expert, but it saved our ass in an 1,800 square foot house. One of the mesh Wi-Fi boosters, it's the newest thing. There's either a Google Mesh or an Eero Mesh, and that might change your life.
Okay, so I got that. It's great. Yeah. It improves the signal tremendously for Wi-Fi, but I'm not worried about Wi-Fi. He's talking about a cell signal,
But
right?
couldn't he call on Wi-Fi?
Oh, you think Adam's going to do a fucking FaceTime video, FaceTime audio call?
You're fine. Just move. It's easier.
Yeah, I try to do that. It's going to be live streaming of me masturbating. In a bathrobe.
But there's also going to be stuff that Conway doesn't like.
Yes. So there's that. The other thing just popped in my head, I can't remember if I got into this or not, but it strikes me as I drive all over the Southland, like I live in a nice neighborhood. Sometimes I'll go drop my daughter off at one of her friends' houses in the nice neighborhood. I see a lot of those, children at play, sandwich boards parked out front of the cul-de-sac.
In the shape of a child holding a flag sometimes.
In the shape of a turtle child with Down syndrome. They don't just pick a kid. They pick this weird green thing that sort of looks like a turtle that's been removed from a shell. But as I was thinking about this the other day, I've never seen kids playing within 2,000 feet of one of those signs. I see them in the good neighborhoods. The good neighborhoods have a half-court basketball court in the back.
Right.
They got a barbecue. They got a swimming pool. Those kids don't play stickball in the street. The street's that's just a bunch of asphalt with bad grading on it. Like, they have full, they're playing cornhole in the backyard with their friends. They got it all set up.
Right.
So all of those signs I see in the upscale neighborhoods. Just think about the last time you drove through Bel Air or Beverly Hills or Encino and you saw a bunch of people playing stickball or hockey in the street. Now, no Wayne's World going on there, right? But when you drive to the shit neighborhoods, that's where you see the kids out in the street because their backyard's dirt and it's full of dog poo.
If they have a backyard.
Never see one of those signs. Never one sign.
Nary a sign.
Nary a sign.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a little indictment of our society, would you not say? Like, shouldn't
where
some
the priorities are?
good Samaritan just go collect all those signs from the nice neighborhoods and drop them off in Sun Valley and Van Nuys?
Reverse busing.
That's
Bust
right.
those signs back to the other neighborhoods.
Bust those signs.
Hey, as it pertains to the phone situation, normally I'm all for, move forward to the new technology, leave the obsolete behind. Why not a landline?
Yeah.
It feels like that would be appropriate for you, especially because you got fire sometimes up there.
I tried.
And earthquake.
You had to work one.
I tried to do it in an old house, and it was a whole thing. Like, we don't know where it comes in. There's no jacks.
Nobody's used the landline here in 40 years.
There's no new houses with jacks put in them. And so now they're like, I don't know how to get it into the house. Like, it's a thing. You're right. It was said, the producer for Conway said, can you get on a landline? I said, I do not have one. All right. Speaking of the home, I told you 30 kids showed up at the house the other day.
Right, for homecoming.
I told you guys, I have lamented in the past that I'm filming something in about 10, 12 days. I'm on my low-carb diet. And as I said, I can go to a restaurant and avoid the carbs. Yes. And I can shop for myself and avoid the carbs. But when you open the fridge, I had to mule in 200 million carbs into, I think Chris has the picture. Had a couple of large pizzas, a huge platter filled with penne pasta.
Oh, the best stuff.
And then just for effect, just a bag of bread.
Oh,
just bags of bread.
Are those like garlic knots?
Yeah, just
this is all the best stuff.
None of the kids got into it. They didn't touch it. The kids aren't eating it now. So what happens is all the carbs get muled into the house. Then I'm tortured by the carbs. Yeah. Then what I try to do is I try to get people to eat the carbs. Right. So I go to Olga, we got to get, so I'm like standing in the kitchen last night. I'm like, Natalia, you're eating pizza. She's like, I want salmon. I'm like, I want salmon too. I'm ordering salmon. Like, Olga, you got to get this thing, smuggle it into their backpack when they're walking to the door in the morning. Get this out of here. She's like, they're not going to eat any of it. So I just took the mound of carbs, and it's 14 slices of pizza.
Tell me you brought it here. The animals here will eat it.
A foil chafing dish that's filled with penne pasta, butter and garlic and all the stuff that's the best.
Looks really good.
And then there's a huge bag of bread. Sorry, Dawson, I brought it to the other shop. I did the math. You're an outlier.
Yeah, you got to go over there.
Over here. You got to go to the other shop.
Supposed to go meet with Nate later anyway, so
yes.
I'd hurry.
I'll get mine.
Somehow, remember when Wile E. Coyote would go off the cliff? And he thought he was fine.
Until he realized he wasn't.
Looked down.
Yeah. He'd look around like side to side.
These guys are all thin, and they're eating carbs galore because no one has told them. Somehow we know now, and now we're going to be greatly affected by it.
Don't tell them. It'll be like a scene from the Clumps.
I don't. I just go, I got you guys a lunch for like the next 3 days. And they're like, hey, pasta pizza. This is awesome. So I took a picture of that, put it up at amcroll.com. But it is a massive pile of carbs. And remember, I paid for all the carbs.
Right.
And I hate throwing away food, and I hate paying for food that I throw away. And so I've made many a pilgrimage over to that other shop with just piles of carbs.
Two things. First of all, can you take this picture off the screen? It's triggering. Second of all, I know that you really didn't have one, because I say when it comes into the house, what am I to do?
Right.
So you didn't have one piece of pizza.
No.
God damn it.
Did not touch
you didn't
anything.
Scrape off the toppings?
It just, all I did was let it haunt me.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
For 37 hours, and then I muled it all in. All right. We got a top 10 SportsCenter play that you guys should all be excited about. I've told you guys, just like the Oscars, the top 10 has been corrupted. Mm-hmm. They're now looking for...
Ever since they went to 10.
Yeah, they're looking for equity now. They have to have a little soccer. It started with some soccer. And then it kind of went, what about the ladies and some softball? And then it went to... now, it is not that girls playing soccer or girls playing softball or girls playing anything are not top 10 play worthy. It's just sometimes you're scraping the barrel a little bit, and once in a while you're just going to have to run one that does not possess a lady.
Top 8 time.
We can just start it from 10 probably, or do you want to do that, or you just want to do it from the play?
Yeah,
because this was like 8 or 9 a couple of nights ago on SportsCenter. Now, it was the WNBA championship.
Okay.
I think Chicago won.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the top 10 plays. Let's take a look.
Here we go. SportsCenter's top plays. Number 10, Fred. Cards, Browns.
Great.
Kyler Murray. I'm sorry. Number 10, DeAndre. Look at Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins
juking his way into the end zone.
Zigs and zags.
Into
First,
the
I'm going
end
to give you some
zone.
moves. I'm going to give you some moves. And then if I have to, I'll just run over people too. Full service top play right there by Hop.
The NFL's only undefeated team. The team that mattered the most, that withstood them all at the end of
Ball
the WNBA,
steal.
the Chicago Sky, Vandersloot,
All right.
Parker.
This is
Ryan,
called
the
a
latter,
layup.
Chicago native.
They're
came
up
back
by
home after
11.
13 seasons in LA.
All right.
And
Not a top 10 play.
It's a nifty play.
Not even nifty.
Nifty.
That's a high school, junior high play all day long. Just dribble down, feed it to the tall chick. She does no dunk, no alley-oop, no tomahawk. I don't even know if I give that. Let's put it to you this way. If you watched 13-year-olds play basketball for an afternoon, you would not go, hey, does anyone remember the play where the guy dribbled down and did what the book tells you to do when you're dribbling down and it's a 2-on-1?
We learned at basketball camp.
Not a top 10, SportsCenter. That's called a layup.
It's fairly rudimentary.
I would say in basketball,
You see it a lot.
you
see it a lot.
That's all there is before the age of 17. It's just dribble down, pass, layup.
And not knowing a lot about sports, I've seen some Instagram live clips of your daughter playing volleyball, and that shit is more deserving of the top 10 because that's pretty intense.
I got to tell you, in the pantheon of sports, maybe you take baseball and you go, well, it's a team sport, but guys hitting grand
You're also an
slams,
individ-
and guys
your own
making
thing.
robbing grand slams at the wall and guys throwing pitches, it's a little individual. And then you go, well, football, that's more, team, there's blocking and that. And then there's basketball. Sometimes they'll really distribute the ball around,
Sure.
3, 4, 5 passes, and then the guy sets a pick. That volleyball, my God, volleyball is like everyone talking, everyone setting everyone up. No heroes in volleyball.
Right.
Like, you do not try that spike shot on your own first time. It's set up, back, and then trying to block, and then set up. And it is arguably the most teamwork you'll get out of 5 or 6? 6. It's probably the most
Typically
teamwork you'll get out of 6 folks on one side in volley, both sides of the net, volley, set up. Like, it is. Sometimes someone knocks one back to the rafters and someone chases it to the Willie Mays style, just bam over the shoulder and sets it,
Keeps
gets it
it
back in
alive.
play, and then somebody sets it. I mean, it is the definition of teamwork. It is it's exciting to watch for that reason. All right, we have. I had a little cut up here. Somebody sent me a tweet, and the basic tweet was some parent at a Burbank school board meeting went off, which is always entertaining, but that's not the part I was entertained by. I'm entertained by the mask correction part, and the reason I'm entertained by it is the parent that is going off on the school board, that ain't an experienced masker.
Okay.
They're there for a reason. Has to do with critical race theory or, vaccine mandates or something like that, or mask mandates. But either
kids are
way,
suffocating.
that dad is not masked dad. I mean, he doesn't wear the mask walking on the boardwalk or the Strand.
Right.
He's not, if you think about politicians and how their shorthand with the mask is, that's on, it's off, it's on, but they're very aware. But these guys, they put the mask on to go talk in front of the school board because those are the rules. And at some point, when they're dressing down the school board, the mask it invariably slides down.
Uh-oh.
It has to, because a lot of gesticulating going on.
That chin move.
A lot of chin movement. Sometimes these guys have beards, and there's like, I'm not going to stand by and let you turn my son into a daughter. And at some point, the thing goes down. And then the school board, who's in the best position ever for anyone yelling at you, gets to just go, mask up, which
invalidates your argument.
I'll spin that out.
The argument.
It always stops the person, and then they go,
like I was saying.
Where was I?
Right.
They're on the clock. Yeah, one guy went off. I didn't. Oh, is he a bearded guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't. Again, I told Chris, the thing's 4.5 minutes long. I'm not interested in the content of it. I'm interested in the mask correction part. Sorry.
To the esteemed members of this school board, thank you for giving me the First Amendment. Mr. Superintendent, my son learned to walk not because I was there to hold his hand.
You have to keep the mask over. Thank you.
My son learned to walk not because I was there to hold his hand, but because of you. Because Bill Gates said so. He doesn't care about
Sir,
money.
I have to remind you again to keep your mask over your nose and mouth. Thank you.
Bill Gates doesn't care about money.
So what I was thinking of...
every time he starts to get really upset, you can cut him off.
I just thought this should be, implemented domestically.
Yeah.
Like the wife fucking comes in and found the lipstick on the collar, got a real head of steam.
You said you called it off with her, and I believed you.
Well,
you said that it was over, and we were going to go to counseling.
Mask up, please.
Sorry.
Mask up.
Like I said, you said that this was going to be done.
I can't really...
What?
Is your mask up?
Yeah, no,
I
it's
can
over
see
my
one
mouth
of your
and my
nostrils.
nose.
I see one of your nostrils.
Hold on. I thought we were going to go to counseling so we could fix all of that so we could be together forever.
We're going fishing?
We could go to counseling.
All right. Is the mask up?
No, the mask is silly.
What's for dinner tonight?
Meatballs.
You came in here with a head of steam. What? All right, go ahead. Sorry, keep going.
You told me that you would never see her again. You said that you're...
Keep going. What? Mask up.
I can't get that.
Mask up.
You told me that it was over between the two of you.
I need you to get the mask. Sorry, ma'am.
What?
I mean,
Ma'am. This is gonna...
Jenny Lynn, I need you to get your mask on.
Hold on.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm going to go watch the top 10 on SportsCenter because they never let me down.
You're going to stand right here. You're going to...
I can't understand you, but get the mask up, please. I'm sorry, your time is up.
Oh, God damn it.
Your time is up.
It's got to be frustrating.
All right. And in other news, Ethel Merman news.
Mm-hmm.
News.
I'm all ears.
Newly unearthed.
Sure, okay.
From the Love Boat. Now, this is, by the way, this was the all-musical version of the Love Boat. Yes, you're listening. Two-parter. Cab Calloway.
Oh, my God.
Ann Miller, Ethel Merman. Oh, God.
This would have bubbled to the surface, but has Dolly Parton ever been on the Love Boat?
I feel like it would have come up.
It
would have come up. Okay. I've not seen her.
Although somebody did tweet at us that there was a Tom Hanks episode in season 4 that I don't know if you're familiar with.
Oh, yes.
A burgeoning Tom Hanks.
Right.
So
plays a bad guy.
There's a couple things about it.
Sure.
There was a time when women got old. And they looked old and they dressed old.
They were allowed to get old.
It wasn't.
Oh, before their time, like Shelley Winters in the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
She like 52 or something.
Yeah,
she was the old lady.
Yeah, the Molly Brown.
Yeah, and if you were old, it wasn't Real Housewives of Orange County. You didn't dye your hair and get a bunch of filler and dress like a teenager. You wore a shawl.
You lean into your B. Arthur.
Right. You became old. So Ethel Merman, who is the songstress of "There's No Business Like Show Business,"
there's no business I know.
All right, mask up.
Everything.
You get your mask on. Your time's up.
Okay.
Mask up. Time's up. If I was a school board guy, that's all I do. I just go mask up, time's up, mask up, time's up, mask up, time's up. That's all I do. That's all. I never stop saying that. Dolly has been on Love Boat.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
She had a cameo in 1977.
Guys.
Cameo. Does that mean she was the entertainment? She wasn't like looking for love by herself on a cruise ship?
Yeah.
I gotta know.
Well,
anyway,
this has not been presented.
I don't know.
I blame you.
All right. Now, the reason I'm playing you this clip,
because I love
it's
it.
with Ethel Merman and Van Johnson, who was a famous Broadway singer, song and dance guy. I don't know. I think in the movie Blazing Saddles, they had that Van Johnson. Everyone's named Johnson.
Oh, okay. Like Johnson?
There was a whole Johnson scene, and I think there's a Van Johnson.
Johnson's right.
Right,
yeah.
right.
That was like the punchline. I think that was the last one.
I think they said Van Johnson, but anyway, he was a big actor of the time, I guess.
He was in Brigadoon, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had reunited with Ethel Merman on the ship.
Okay.
There were young, star-crossed lovers. But the reason I bring it up, and we'll show you the scene, they meet out by the pool. He left her at the train station so many years ago. This Love Boat's from 1982. So there's Ethel Merman. And what would you say Ethel Merman's age is by her picture? Don't do any other math.
Yeah, just by the picture, I would say early to mid 70s.
Yeah, looks mid 70s, or by today's standards, she's 81.
Yeah,
but, I mean, because you think of like Nancy Pelosi, jet black hair, lots of filler. But
not any of that. I'll say mid 60s.
Mid 60s. Now, she looks like she's from the mid 60s. Don't factor in stuff, Brian. Just say how old does she physically look?
Late 60s.
I would say 77.
Okay. Yeah. I knew that wasn't going to go well, but all right. She looks like a woman in her 60s. Drew's wife is in her 60s, is what I'm saying.
Right, but that's today. That's today.
I know, but we're not factoring anything in. I'm just saying, what does she look like?
Okay, I'm going to say 68.
Okay. In the 60s. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Between 60 and 69.
In the 60s.
Yes.
Okay. That's how, if you just saw a picture of her today, no context, you'd go, that woman's in her 60s.
It's a 68-year-old woman.
Okay. All right. Doesn't look older than 60. Remember, Drew's wife is 65.
Okay. But you're saying don't factor other things in, like how 6-year-old women look today. That's exactly what you're doing. I'm saying, based on whatever this 1982, that's what a 68-year-old woman looked like.
All right. Fair enough. I'm simply just saying, I don't want to factor in the year. I just want to say, what does she look like to you?
68.
Okay. Good enough. All right. Here we go. Thank you.
It is you, isn't it, Roz?
Can you tell what I was going for?
It's me.
Of course, those
older
same
maybe?
twinkling eyes, they haven't changed.
Okay.
And they're about the only things I have that haven't. It's been a long time, Victor.
June 1953.
That's right. You remember.
How could I forget?
For someone who left me waiting at the train station with my bags packed, I should think that forgetting would come easy.
Roz, I've dreamed about this day when we'd finally meet, and I had all sorts of wonderful speeches prepared. Witty, sensational, sincere, and all I can say now is that I was a foolish young man who thought that an acting career was the single most important thing in my whole life.
And I was a foolish young girl who thought she'd never live through another day.
All right.
Roz.
So, 1953. Ethel Merman is 74 in this cut, little older, 74, in her 70s. But this is 1953. Now, if you do the math, we'll just round up and say 30 years ago.
Yeah.
She was a foolish young woman. He was a young man with stars in his eyes who dreamt.
Early 20s.
They're in their 40s. Why would you write it that way? You left her at a train station. She was a foolish young girl. You were a foolish young man who had his sights set on Hollywood and the bright lights. You're in your early 40s. It's math. You don't have to say the year. You can just go back in the day.
And if this was written before it was cast, feel free to rewrite. Feel free to just change a couple of numbers.
I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. What we just saw.
Oh, sorry. 43 is what they said, but it still makes her 1943. It makes her in her 40s.
What we just witnessed, she's supposed to be in her 40s.
No. What you just witnessed is they had a love affair when they were
40s.
kids. And he took off for the bright lights in her 40s.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And as Drew brought up,
this has been discussed
she's
already.
playing the mom of Gopher.
What the fuck?
She's Gopher's mom. Gopher's
in the series?
Yes, Gopher's 35. So where's Gopher? I mean, who's she fucking?
Child bride.
What is she? She had a kid out of wedlock, or she got divorced, but there were young kids
Second
with
family.
dreams in their heart, but they set a date to it.
Adopted?
And now they're in their 40s.
When she was a young kid with dreams in her heart, she was premenopausal.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Thank
That's
you for that.
The late, great Ethel Merman.
And please remember, and I've committed this to memory, so Google me right, that when the Golden Girls started, they were supposed to be in their 50s.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In their 50s, which as a kid I thought was very, very old. But
Yes.
they were old biddies of 52.
Wasn't Ethel Merman canceled?
How dare you? What are you talking about?
Like, did
They
she have some
used to
transgression?
sing, well, was it her? Who did New York, New York at the end of the Yankees games who got canceled? You can find that. Yeah, this is an earlier cancellation. This is like 4 years ago or something
Not
like that.
Sinatra.
No, it was a female songstress like Ethel Merman who was canceled because she had some stuff from vaudeville days or something from the 30s that was not too flattering for the black community. Who might think
Says Liza Minnelli did it in 2001 at Shea Stadium.
She's uncancelable.
No, this was a recording. They would play it while people were filing
from a long
out.
Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta know.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
I'm saying Kate Smith.
Kate Smith was canceled.
So
right.
they stopped playing her version of God Bless America.
Oh, right. Kate Smith was God bless. I mean, you can find Kate. So she was Ethel Merman before Ethel Merman or during Ethel Merman or something. You know, you'll know
I need
Kate
a
Smith.
deeper
You'll know
dive.
the God bless.
Kate Smith was, she's 1 year older than Ethel Merman, known as the First Lady of Radio. And known for her rendition.
Gina Grad is the first lady of radio, please.
Yeah, you can, find her doing God Bless America. That's right. She got canceled for God Bless America, which they would play, I think, at the Yankees games.
Oh, seventh inning.
Oh, yeah, there's lyrics of a song that haven't aged well.
Yes. For her, like from the 40s or something?
Yeah, and one of them was a hit. Do you want me to say the title or?
Yes.
Read the lyrics.
Okay. Emerging claims about racist lyrics in some of her songs included in her catalog. One of them, her hit, That's Why Darkies Were Born.
Now,
what's it about?
Did she write the song? That's the bigger.
If only Alonzo was here.
She probably recorded 10,000 songs and probably just handed it to her. All right. Let me tell you about BlueNile.com. Whether you're customizing an engagement ring or designing diamond stud earrings, you got to go to BlueNile.com because you're in control there. Build a more brilliant piece at a price you're not going to find in traditional jewelers. They had a beautiful pear-shaped amethyst crowned in round cut diamonds as well, set in 14-karat rose gold and matching adjustable cable chain. Pick from a vast selection of preset diamonds and gemstone jewelry. Blue Nile's endless options are ready to ship the same day. Hop on their website and see all the beautiful offerings they have. Trouble choosing? Blue Nile has experts 24/7 via the phone or chat to help you find or build a memorable gift. It's Blue Nile, right, Dawson?
Mark the moments that matter with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Adam's listeners get $50 off $500. This podcast exclusive offer includes engagement rings. Use code Adam. That's code Adam. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today.
All right, we got some liked tweets. We're going to do that right after this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Downsville, Louisiana. A 29-year-old man was arrested for stealing and pawning a ring. He told police he used the money from the sale to make a down payment on an engagement ring for his girlfriend. He stole the original ring from his girlfriend. Definitely not a Jew.
All right, Shek's going to be here. I think I said that there were star-crossed lovers in 43, but getting back to Ethel Merman, it was 53 was the date, just so we're accurate. All right, Shek's going to come in. We got a couple of tweets that Max Pata pulled, and we'll get into that, and we'll bring Shek in. We're also going to play some Hollywood hand-me-downs. We'll be wagering bets on what some of this Hollywood memorabilia went for at auction. Prices are going up, people. Go ahead. Do we got it, Chris? We got an intro.
Here's the tweets he liked. He didn't reply because he cannot type. Here's the tweets he liked. Send him by you to piss him off all day and all night. Here's the tweets he liked.
All right, so I got a couple here, and if anybody wants to tweet at Adam, just tweet at Adam Carolla. Anything you want him to see, most likely he will see it and like it. All right, so this is from @VoxMaris. So this is in response to somebody tweeting you, Adam, a quote that you said on this very show. Who's more miserable with a happy first name, Joy Behar or Whoopi Goldberg? And @VoxMaris responded, "You forgot that Sunny bitch." Speaking of Sunny
Hostin.
Yeah, Sunny's pretty miserable too. But it's ironic that the sort of most miserable are Sunny, Whoopi, and Joy on that on that show. Oh, in a related story, I think people have to give their whole name on when they text you, because. I'm trying to think. Who was the blonde? McCain.
Meghan
McCain. I guess Meghan McCain has a book, and I got a text this morning said, "Hey, I talked to Meghan McCain. She's a friend. She wants to do the podcast, wants to talk about her book." Meghan McCain being an interesting interview.
Sure.
Being in that lion's den all that time. And then it said, can I have a contact? And then it said, Clay. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, let's see. Now, who do I know? I don't know a ton of Clays.
Yeah, I know one.
Who's Clay? And then I thought, well, let's see. Clay Travis was up on stage with me in Nashville, and then I talked to Clay for a while over at Sal's 40th or 50th. And
53.
And Clay is also, him and Buck Sexton took over for Rush Limbaugh. So I'm like, all right, Clay's conservative. He's friends with Meghan McCain.
That's up.
So I goes, this is Clay Travis, but I haven't corresponded with him over the phone, but I don't know who has my number. So I called back, and I just get the, hello. And I'm like, hello? Hi. Hey, this is Adam. Oh, hey.
Adam.
It's Clay. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, it doesn't sound like Clay Travis, but I don't know.
It's Clay Aiken.
Wait, that was
Clay. It's Clay Aiken.
Oh.
Yes.
So I figured out your number from back in the day.
Wait a second.
Yes.
That was a ballsy move. You called the person you didn't know which Clay it was.
I did not. I didn't
would
have.
never.
I didn't have Clay Aiken in my head. I had. This is Clay Travis, but I've only really known 3 or 4 Clays in my life. But it was Clay Aiken.
You got to look at that area code.
And 991 or something. Anyway, I don't know. Weird area
What's
code.
the rest of his number?
I don't. So I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, I didn't let on. But if he listens, he'll figure it out.
I love that Clay Aiken and Meghan McCain are friends.
I do too. So he's like, oh, my friend Meghan McCain, and I talked to her, and she's plugging her book. She said she wanted to come on the pod. Blah blah blah. I said fine. So remind me to send you. I was going to forward you the text, but I'm not capable of doing that. I think I've done it before, but I couldn't.
Be done.
I couldn't do it this time. I tried.
I'll remind you.
So we got that. And what's going on with The View now? Is there a Republican in there, or how are they working
that's going to be a revolving seat. So they're going to find, marginally conservative women that there won't be a permanent cast member.
It seems like,
because I don't think they can.
I
think they're super happy in that chair.
Well, it's a tallish order for whoever sits in that chair, because not only is it a 3-4 against one situation? But there's a lot of emotion coming out of the people who aren't agreeing with you. You know, it's not just, well, let's crunch some numbers. It's you're a bad person thing. It's got to wear that person out pretty fast.
Right. Well, and it specifically ended up becoming Meghan McCain versus Joy Behar. Specifically, those two seem to have some real on camera beef, and I think it seems like Meghan was just kind of over this.
Maybe they should even it out. Maybe there should be 2 on the more conservative side, and be 2-on-3 or 2-on-2 or something like that. But that might be interesting if they had an ally.
Yeah, it's interesting because if your target demographic during a mid-morning women's show is women who are home mid-morning, you think the Midwest, you think whatever, you think it would be a little more balanced. Like they would want maybe a conservative Midwestern view more represented. It'd be more compelling because it's just from a guy who's gone out to dinner with people who disagree with him, and it's hard to battle the whole table. Right. If you can get one person on that table to jump in on your side, it makes a difference. No.
Yeah.
More interesting conversation.
So that's going to be revolving.
I think so.
All right. Oh my God, that show. I've been on that show. That's how old that show is. I may have been on that show 2 times.
Fuck.
I think I was there during the Barbara Walters day. Barbara Walters alive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was she, Meredith Vieira, Star Jones, Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
Does that all sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like as the
Dick Clark, Danny Bonaducci. I remember that show.
Debbie Matenopoulos? That name hasn't popped into my head in a million years.
Was Joey Lawrence on that show?
What?
Joey Lawrence?
From the guys version.
Whoa.
I think there was some dude. There was some like bro-y guy.
Oh, there was Mario Lopez.
Okay.
I buy it.
Dick Clark, Bonaducci.
Okay.
I don't know if I can't remember the fourth. Although, if someone's just stopping
James
people
Woods.
on the street and asking them, I think I might win that
3 out of
competition.
4 is pretty good.
I don't know. There could have been 5. Anyway. All right. Sorry. Next tweet.
All right. And then somebody tweeted you. His name's Jay Henry. He says, Adam and Jimmy will be very happy about this news. And he tweeted an article about the Sex and the City reboot.
Mm-hmm.
It's premiering this December. And it's going to be streaming on HBO. They're doing half-hour episodes. Samantha will not be a part of it.
And it's not called Sex and the City.
Wait, is it?
It's called And Just Like That.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Is it the same cast? Minus,
I mean, Chris probably has it, but no, because Samantha wants no part of it, Kim Cattrall, and they need to do a lot of compensating from the lack of diversity the first time around. So I think it's going to be a little more colorful, diverse.
Do they? Oh, yeah. It's like
the most diverse city
woman
in the country.
of color who's married, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
What's Kim Cattrall's thing? I don't get why people get angry at their own franchise.
Wasn't it that like it was like the dueling egos? Like I'm the reason people watch this show, not Carrie, Samantha.
The story that I heard, the story that emerged was she thought she was every bit the star of Sarah Jessica Parker,
I think so.
and demanded equal treatment, and equal billing, and blah blah blah. And basically they were like, no, show's about her.
Well, they're probably favored nations, right?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Very doubtful.
Well, Sarah Jessica Parker's probably got a producer credit or something like that. But I'll bet their fees. There's something to look into, Max.
They're gonna do with like billing and trailers, like star accoutrement.
Their fees are probably the same, but then Sarah probably gets some creator, producer, something bump. But as a guy, I never get that part because I've done 2 kind of franchise shows. One was Loveline and one was The Man Show, and it was always favored nations. We got paid the same. Mm-hmm. They do it that way because they'd cause an immediate problem between the 2 hosts if someone's getting paid more. And on Loveline, I did 72% of the lifting. And then on The Man Show, I did like 44% of the lifting. And I always preferred The Man Show because we're getting paid the same and I was doing a little less work.
Right.
That's the way I looked at it. I wasn't interested in, top billing or whoever spoke first on the monologue or who threw it to the roll-in bit. I was like, as long as we're getting paid the same, then I'll just... Because I basically equated it to roofing. It's like me and another guy are roofing. We get paid the same. Yeah. We get a day rate. He's doing 60% of the roofing.
Right. You get there at 9. Right. You get there at 11.
Yeah, that was kind of how I looked at it. I don't know. Maybe Kim Cattrall didn't come from the construction background.
Oh, come on. Of course she did.
And she's probably got money, but what is she going on to do? I don't know what she's moved on to do.
Didn't she, during Sex and the City, didn't she and her husband make like a sex positions book?
Oh,
like a tantric sex something book?
Did not, was not aware of that.
I mean, I don't know.
But you can look it up. Anyway.
I think a lot of it had to do with the movie, too. Billing and pay. I think for the series, maybe it's a little more equitable, but I think for the movie, maybe. That's all I remember vaguely.
This happens in girl bands a lot. Belinda Carlisle gets pushed out front. Everyone else gets pissed off. And my thing is, just hammer those checks.
Yeah. Oh, and lest you thought I was misremembering, the book is called Satisfaction, The Art of the Female Orgasm.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never go into that aisle of the bookstore. I stick with the car
What,
stuff.
fiction?
All right. So wait, where's that coming to? Hulu?
HBO Max, 10 episodes, 30 minutes long. There'll be addition to the cast, as Gina said, 3 new main characters, all of whom are people of color. And the first new cast member we announced was Sarah Ramirez, a non-binary actor who famously played Dr. Callie Torres on Grey's Anatomy. And they said that, they're going to just write out Samantha in a, quote, believable way.
Yeah. The...
Horrible fire.
Be nice. I don't...
That's Hogan's Heroes. That's what they did. Remember Sandy Duncan?
Yeah.
Wasn't it supposed to be a fire?
Oh... Wait a minute. Not Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, sorry.
Hogan's Family.
Hogan's Family.
Oh, Sandy Duncan was in a concentration camp?
Sorry. Yep. Thank you.
Prisoner of War camp. People get that confused comedically.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. So she's gone, and I can start watching this starting when?
December, I think.
I'm in. I'm all in. I will say this on Sex and the City, what are we calling it?
And Just Like That.
And Just Like That. The portrayal of gay men in that series and in the movie form.
Fetishizing.
It's been over the top.
We do that thing where it's like you go back and look at how blacks were portrayed in the 40s and the 50s and you go, ugh, cringeworthy black. Gay men in that series are arguably as over the top as the black characters were of the 50s.
Yes.
Kim Cattrall has a checkered history of this because remember Mannequin. The very swishy gay fellow.
Hollywood.
That's right.
And did you know, Stanford Blatch, the character, Willie Garson, died.
Oh,
and
he did?
He wasn't gay.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, 2 bombshells. He died, I think, of COVID complications.
Nobody channeled the gay like he did.
Yeah.
And Cosmopolitan reports that once Sarah Jessica Parker became a producer, like seasons 4 through 6, she was making up to $3.2 million an episode, whereas the other girls were making $350,000.
Wow, now they're pissed. Okay.
There it is.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's about her.
Yeah, look.
The show's about her.
Well, also...
Better flunky friends.
It's kind of what the market bears.
No.
That's just what it is. And then, Kim Cattrall, you lead a TV show of your own, and then you'll make more than the ancillary actors will on that.
And again, from us working class folk, they only made $300,000 a week. Like, okay, so...
I like when guys kind of mitigate that. They go, yeah, but you got to figure 10% to the agent.
Yeah. Government takes a chunk.
Yeah, government takes their bite.
Yep. All right. Sheck is out there. We'll take a quick early break, and we'll bring Sheck in studio, and we'll do some Hollywood hand-me-downs right after this.
Every 60 seconds, not 1, but 2 children are trafficked. And every 30 seconds, one is forced into exploitation for the purpose of heinous acts.
Human trafficking is happening in your own backyard. It is happening to your neighbors.
Many whom we see every day in our own communities, hidden in plain sight.
You know, there's kids out there that are being bought and sold 20 times a day.
We must bring the child back to the center of our care and concern. Today we launch Goya Cares.
Goya Cares is committed to supporting victims and overcomers of trafficking and abuse, to recover, restore, reconnect, and to shine the light that will block traffic.
This is where we become the light.
God saved me. I believe that I was called to this. Perhaps He's calling you too.
Block traffic.
Join Goya Cares and visit blocktraffic.org.
Great Dave Dameshek has joined us. His podcast, -3, with our dear friend Kevin Hench, and Extra Points with Cousin Sal as well. And you can find that wherever you get finer podcasts. Good to see you, Shaq.
What's happening, Ace? What's happening, company? Muzzle tov to Mrs. Grad.
Thank you.
Do you have a new name?
Nope, still Mrs. Grad.
And yes, that looked like good times. I saw some photographs from it. Very nice. And Ace, you mentioned Hench. This is, I mean, he's a successful writer, but he has finally found his milieu. You must listen to him on -3. Oh, my God. Who knew? I mean, you know him. I know him. But who knew that this would really thread the needle? To put a microphone in front of him and unlimited time to just rant and rave like the lunatic that he is. It's really
He
good.
is literally, you know, he's a combination of a fountain of information, stats, and names that, you know, we have our senior moments where you go, what was the name of that guy that used Ozzie Guillen? Oh, yeah, right, Ozzie Guillen, right. He has it all at his fingertips, and he can just lay it all out, rat-a-tat-tat. You ever see the fast food place when they do hotcakes and they have that weird dispenser?
Oh, the batter.
Hopper, the
Yes.
batter thing. That's how he does information. Just plop, plop,
Nice.
plop, plop. I'll do plop, plop, and then one comes out funny,
Right.
and then plop, 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 and then the other one I have a little trouble with the handle. He just plop, 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 man, firing on all cylinders.
As good a compliment as I could give him is he's a little like you in the sense that I will say, hey, Hench, how are you? How's the week going? And 27 minutes later, his opening rant ends.
Yes, I know.
And it's delightful.
Just had dinner with him on Saturday night. So, Shaq, first things first, the fairy tale fantasy football draft. We know the great John Hamm has been booted on occasion. Many others have fallen. I don't think we got caught up on who got booted and how it worked.
No, as I'm sure everybody who follows sports at all is aware, the Cool Cats, spelled with 2 Ks, the team owned by one Dave Dameshek, is the dynasty of the 21st century on the sports scene, and as such, claimed another title.
Oh, mazel.
Last autumn
We read
/ winter.
about it.
Yeah, well, I figured as much. 3 out of the
You have
last
to be
4.
living under a rock not to know.
And it's not a mere trophy, a trophy that, by the way, I lost somewhere. So people are very cross about the fact that I lost the trophy somewhere in my journeys. I don't
Well, you've
know.
been holding on to it for so many years.
That's not what the Cool Cats are about. We're not in it for the hardware. It's for the glory and for the ability to kick somebody out at the draft roundabout Labor Day every year, just before the season kicks off. And so a year ago, you may recall, I got Freddie Lynn, the former center fielder of the Boston Red Sox, a.k.a. Bill Simmons' favorite ball player growing up, to kick him out on video.
Via Cameo.
And it went well, and I figured, why fix what ain't broke? Let's do it again this way. And so we got Hollywood's John Hamm to do the kick out, which was a relief to him, meaning that he wasn't going to get kicked out.
I was going to say, he's still talking to you? Or
well,
you guys?
I didn't kick him out.
Okay.
The bald-headed lawyer, Elliot Blutt, kicked him out in what, to me, is the signature moment of the kick-out. This bald-headed Jewish lawyer comes in, nerd of all nerds, a lovely fellow.
This is Jimmy's friend from back in the day.
Elliot comes in and kicks out the most desirable man on the planet Earth. And Ham's reaction, in hindsight, as we've discussed, Ham likes to play it cool, like, I thought it could happen, and that was all right. He was quite miffed in the moment.
I'm sure.
He was not pleased that he had just gotten kicked out, period, let alone by Elliot Blutt. However, that's rear view mirror stuff.
Just to describe Elliot Blutt, that's what he looks like.
An Elliot Blunt.
Right.
Yeah, well said. Much
Right.
like I always say about the Los Angeles Chargers pass rusher, Joey Bosa. If you've ever seen him, like, there's nobody who looks more like his name should be Joey Bosa than Joey Bosa. So we got Ham. And I listen, you know me. I'm a delicate flower, and I don't like to put people on the spot and shame them. So I reduced it to the two franchises who had not been kicked out yet over the decade long of this diabolical plot by Cousin Sal.
I like that.
Listen, you know me.
Who had not been kicked out?
I'm a man of peace. Well, it was Kevin Hench and his partner, his relatively silent partner, Dan Dratch.
Oh, Dratch.
Yeah. And then
Rachel Dratch's brother. He showed up for football Sunday, by the way.
I'll be there. But I want to tell you something
we don't
else.
want you there. But we do. Your name comes up.
Uh-oh.
But it doesn't equal wanting me there. It comes up like, thank goodness, another week without.
It comes up. But Dratch was there.
Oh.
All right. Okay. So Dratch and Hench, partner, Hench and Dratch, football Sunday. And then the other team.
Well, and the other team was, not names that people will recognize, but Brian and Craig Powell from the 3-on-3 games on the Blue Top. Two of the best to ever do it.
Yes,
on the Blue Top.
Old man show interns maybe or APs or something back in the day.
Yeah,
and
still
just
around.
Should have stayed all the way through.
Diehard Bills and Patriots fans. Never. I don't think they've ever won it, so they've never been on the chopping block.
They never got booted because they kind of fly under the radar.
That's right.
Not fish nor foul.
They
no
like
reason
their
to get rid of
booze.
them.
Like, what are you gonna? You're gonna kick out these two pleasant guys who don't argue and don't annoy. You know?
Statement made when you kick them out. Right.
And it would have been fun to just outright kick Hench out of the league, but I thought let's leave it to Ham, and here's what John Ham did.
So this is John Ham on location somewhere.
On location, right?
All right.
Here goes the flip.
Flip the coin.
Under the thing.
Find his coin.
Hench called heads. Or tails, I'm sorry. Hench called tails.
It is heads. Heads all day, including under the sofa. If you called heads, you can decide whether you want to be in or out, I guess.
Ooh.
If you called heads, you're safe. If you won the toss, you win the toss. If you lose the toss, you lose your spot. That's it for me from here. Beautiful Long Island. Good luck, everybody. Trevor, draft us a good team. Bye.
Now, so that meant Hench and Dratch were out of the league, and they were shamed on the Zoom that we all were sharing that evening. And you know what? I got to say, it was deserved because literally 2 weeks prior to that coin flip, I went down, I did the thing I usually have to say about No Country for Old Men when Anton, what's his name?
Hench and Dratch are out.
Out of the league for this year.
Well, that would explain him not complaining about the league endlessly during football Sunday.
Right.
He wouldn't know.
And of course, the whole time, Simmons would say, I don't even want to be in this league. Why am I back in it? And Sal somehow bent it on similar to your response about Dameshek at Football Sundays. That was kind of like, I don't want to be in this league. Like, well, hey, you're not alone, friend.
Right.
But anyhow, we had just been talking about my ongoing philosophical. I believe the Coen brothers in No Country for Old Men made a statement, a philosophical statement, that when confronted with the choice of heads or tails, as the old man is at the gas station, that heads or tails. Heads is the way you're supposed to go. That's what the old man calls, and he lives. And I think the Coen brothers are telling us that that's saying to the world, I believe the right way is going to come up. You know, I believe that things are right in the world. And if you're tails, you're a cynic by definition, right? Ass up, this ain't right, backwards, and all of that.
Well,
Hench, in spite of me telling Hench this,
you told him.
He went tails, and so he got what he got.
He should have watched that movie. And I guess maybe heads is glass half full and tails is glass half empty. Like you're saying, it's heads first, then it's tails. Interesting. I wonder, as I look back on it as a kid when coin tossing was a thing that was much more prevalent. It took about 67% of my young life. We got to toss a coin. We got to flip a coin. Something with a coin. I was always a tails guy, but maybe that's my, family and low-grade depression and being invisible. Like, I would wonder if there was a if you did a test of the sort of psychodynamic of the people that choose heads, there's also heads is always first. No one always goes tails or heads. I go heads or tails. So you got to be, you're like, I'll take the first option.
Yeah, I always feel like tails, you were too full of yourself. I was a tail. I mean, heads, I'm sorry, heads, you're too full of yourself. Yeah, so I always went tails.
I was told tails never fails.
Okay.
Somebody did come up with the clever rhyme.
That's true.
And I give it that.
I don't know how much science is behind it. Probably
But
some.
you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It says, right. The back, the
Says
butt,
something about
that's what
you.
you're choosing? The tuchus? Well, please. you know?
Well, of course, it always reminds me of the great Vince DiGiacomo, who I shared the middle linebacker slot with at North Hollywood High. The man with the huge and beautiful calves. He had them in high school.
Sasso-like?
Ace's favorite
Will
thing.
Sasso-esque.
Wow.
Literally, when he'd go in, he'd flash them. You know, he'd do it, and it was the upside-down horseshoes, exactly what it looked like. And by the way, the thing about flashing the calves is you don't have to set anything down. You know, if you're going to show off the guns, you got to like hold this, hold my notebook. Calves, you just do a sort of quarter turn and pow. You could be holding a tray of muffins. It doesn't matter.
gotta walk,
Boom.
Like a flapper, he shows a little calf.
Right.
Wow.
And
Fresh.
during the the hot season of North Hollywood, no one ever accuses you of wearing shorts to show off your calves.
Right.
See, you wear a tank top and you got the guns,
We
you're
get
obnoxious.
it.
We
Yeah.
get it. You cut the sleeves off everything you own. We get it. But you can wear shorts anywhere and flash those calves. But the great Vince DiGiacomo, last game of the year, we're both chosen to be captains. And we went out to the center of the 50-yard line, North Hollywood High. And ref said, I'm going to call it. I'm going to flip it. And I guess he said home team, you can call it. So I said, Vince, you call it. And the guy just flipped it with his thumb. And then he caught it in the palm of his hand. And then the ref opened his hand, and in the air, Vince called heads, opened his hand, tails, and Vince, without missing a beat, said, I thought you were going to go like that.
Sure. That would be my expectation.
So
you got to flip it.
He counted the revolutions in the air and then calculated it in a heartbeat.
Very Matrix.
But he factored in the flip.
You factored the flip in and did not know, was not pre-discussed that it wasn't going to be... Where are we on the hand flip?
I think we got to do it.
You got to do it.
It's only if you catch it.
I think they, though, have dispensed with that part of it. And I think they just flip it and let it go on the grass. Maybe in deference to the octogenarians who are doing the flip because they might miss it a lot of the time anyway. Just let's cut that out.
The problem really with the crappy North Hollywood field with the semi-long grass is the thing could definitely line up on its edge, just fall through the blade.
You know what? The XFL gets rightly made fun of a lot. That was kind of a fun thing they did. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, from both sides, they would say on your market, from both goal lines, I think, they would say on your market, set, go, and you had to, whoever ran to the football at midfield got possession of the ball.
Really?
So it was something weird like that.
You know,
do that.
I was going to do this story for today, and I forgot about it, but I'm glad it was still wedged in my mind. There's a story about two high schools doing that, and instead of the coin, they do rock, paper, scissors. And now there's all these questions. Should we all change to rock, paper, scissors?
Well,
feels much more easy to manipulate.
Let's stay on this subject for a second because it is bothering me. Anyone who watched the poor beleaguered Atlanta Falcons have the Patriots come back on them a couple of Super Bowls ago. Not only did they have all the momentum in the world, not only did Atlanta, now it's looking more and more like Atlanta's not going to see the Super Bowl for in our lifetime. But of course, Tom Brady goes out there, wins the coin toss. Right. They march right down, score, game over. So in the Super Bowl, the opposing quarterback or the opposing team does not get to touch the ball in OT based on the coin toss. Seems like too much luck and happenstance woven into the Super Bowl.
It's the worst. I think the Falcons, I was there. I don't remember it exactly, but I think when Tom Brady rightly called the over, I think the Falcons just went in the locker room and like, well, that's the game over anyway. We're never going to see the ball. You knew in that moment, well, that's the end of the game. Obviously, they're going to drive down and score a touchdown.
Was that the game that precipitated the rule change, the overtime possession rule change?
No, because the rule change is still in play. It's the field goal that changed.
No, I'm
That
saying
rule
that
changed.
change the rule from first score wins to both teams have the option or the first touchdown.
No, that was remember when
Was that many
Tebow
years
did it to
later?
the Steelers. That was, I think, the first year of that rule that if you score I was confused in the moment. I remember watching it like, well, now the Steelers have to score a touchdown. Oh, the season's over instead? Never mind. And then I went into the locker room and wept.
They changed it from the first score, which would be a field goal, because guys could boot it from 57 yards at the complete two passes
That's right.
they'd set
We've
up.
talked about this.
Two touchdown.
Sure, I'm extremely familiar with the rule. I'm wondering if that's the game that precipitated the rule change.
No, that wasn't it. But this bad rule still is there, which is they still do the coin toss.
Right, so determine possession. Yeah, of course.
Right. And so it's down to a coin toss. Tom Brady scored his last 7 possessions of this game. He's got all the momentum in the world. He's just going to go down and score again, which he did. And, of course, the Patriots win the coin toss as well, because that's when the Patriots were the Patriots. It's kind of interesting. Sheck and I have always talked about it. You know, Steelers lost. The Patriots lost in sort of last-minute heartbreaking fashion or whatever last weekend. When teams have momentum, they have momentum. And it's not all X's and O's. It's coin tosses and bad calls and tuck rules and stuff like that. Like things fall their way when that's how dynasties kind of roll. And when they're done with the dynasty, they're kind of done. Now you'll see the Patriots, some bad calls, some missed field goals, some shit that happens. You know
well,
what
I mean, you saw that on Sunday. I'm sure you were watching with Hench, and as his Patriots lost, you thought, Belichick has done it again. He somehow is going to beat the Cowboys. And oh no, the mojo has run out now. They turn right back around and beat you. But the most famous
mojo.
Remember the most infamous perhaps of them all was Thanksgiving Day when Jerome Bettis of the Steelers called heads and the referee said like, no, you called tails. And he's like, I did not call tails. And then they gave it to the Lions and they won the game.
Yeah, that was a good one. There was Tim Hasselbeck saying, we're going to win this. There's that one. There's one where they won the toss. We got the toss. We're going to win the game. And then he threw a pick.
He threw a pick six. The guy intercepted and ran right past him into the end zone.
All right. Shall we do a little of our Hollywood hand-me-downs, Max Zapata? Let's do it.
It's time to find out, how much did they pay in another round of Hollywood hand-me-downs?
All right, simple rules. Whoever gets closest to the number shall be declared the winner for the Hollywood memorabilia that has sold at auction.
And I will also give you what the estimate was to help guide your answers.
And just to make clear, because I've not done this game, this basically reflects how crazy people are. I mean, that they'd be willing to spend anything on some baubles that were once possessed by a celebrity.
That was the springboard, but you never know.
Okay.
Well, it started off as guitars, cars, watches, and guns. Those were like the collectible items.
Country song.
And then it started to kind of spread out to anything Steve McQueen owned, you know, former whatever. Then it kind of got into in Star Wars stuff, you know, and it just sort of kept going now. And I think it's two things. I think there's two phenomenons going on. I think this is Bitcoin for old scared white guys, basically. Like, I don't know what the fuck Bitcoin is. I'm not putting my money in the bank and getting 0.7% when inflation's at 9%. Like, I'm going to put my money somewhere.
It's
like,
my investment.
People want to put their money somewhere. And it's also the story. I've realized, like, you used to kind of keep quiet about things and money and stuff like that. Now everyone like wants the story, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they have Shaq's shoe prominently displayed in their entry. Oh, you guess whose shoe though? It's size 27.
Right.
I don't know. Who else?
Could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
Jennifer Aniston's.
Dorothy Hamill. I don't know. I'm out of guesses.
It's funny you say that because the guys, when they rip their jersey off and throw it into the crowd, a wristband, like, all right, I don't know about the sweaty jersey that I want that, but okay, I probably would take that. The shoe thing is where I draw the line. What was with the guys getting off the field and giving their cleats or their sneakers to be? Who wants that? No, what narcissist? I don't want that stink shoe.
I think I don't know if it's on our list because obviously I would not peruse the potential items before the game is played. It would ruin the sanctity of the game. But Michael Jordan's got a pair of rookie high tops out there somewhere they think's $1 million or whatever.
What in hell?
This stuff it's on. I think it's people a little freaked out about the dollar and wanting to put their money into something that they, you buy a Michael Jordan shoe for $1 million, it's worth $2 million. And your kids can sell it. All right, here we go. Kaylin.
Are we writing this down?
Kaylin has one is think about selling some of his dad's stuff.
Whoa.
I do have one thing.
You know where to come first.
I do. I was talking to him the other day about it, that I still had this thing that he thought was gone long ago, and it's the knife that he wielded around in the Abyss, which is a pretty badass looking knife. I'll put a replica picture up.
Is it the hero knife?
That knife,
it's a good-looking knife.
It's a less celebrated Michael Biehn movie, but a great role.
That knife almost took the life of Ed Harris.
That's right.
In the picture.
Yeah, I told him about it the other day. He goes, "Yeah, go ahead, sell it if you want to. I don't care." And so I was like,
"Oh my God! Open up the box of beans stuff. Count me in.
Open up that can of beans."
All right. Well, interesting, and we'll see if you go. You go eBay. You go with one of these auction houses. All right, go ahead, Dawson. Sorry.
All right, first up, we have Jack Nicholson's fedora from the Tim Burton-produced Batman film with Michael Keaton as Batman. It's estimated that it would go for $27,000 to $41,000.
What the hell?
That
Why
seems
would
high.
anybody pay that much money for that?
Pretty iconic role.
Well, also, as you guys, from a guy who studies the car stuff, when the big stuff goes up, Darth Vader's lightsaber or something, when that stuff crosses $1 million, then you get into weird ancillary stuff that's like, well, that's $1 million. This has got to be $30,000.
You're right. It's kind of like, it's sort of like is chili a soup? No, it's something better. It's unique. And how would you gauge what a hat? Like cars are cars, and so you can gauge the range. A hat. What do I know about a velvet hat?
But it's also, Jack's probably not doing that well.
Yeah, Jack's on the doorstep.
Is he really?
He may be gone
done acting
in a shortish period of time. Wouldn't you like to get it while he's here? Then all the news, and then invariably there's going to be pictures of him as the Joker.
All right, let's do this.
27 to
41.
Right. By the way, this is how all people that do appraisals work. They go, if we say 25 to 40, people are going to think we're not doing
taking it seriously.
A real job. So they go, let's make it 27 to 41.
41.5.
Right.
Not that it's funny that those people were kidnapped in Haiti, but that's exactly what my thought was. Like, what are you asking for? How much money? $17 million.
Specifically.
You go 10 million or 20 million. It's like, a little round. Like, we need 17
We've crunched the numbers.
Should have thrown a 0.2 in there, something like that, to really sell it. Then we know you're serious.
All right, and this sold, right? Recently.
Everything here sold recently.
Oh, right. Now, sometimes you can go high, but sometimes there's a little psychological thing about people going over the estimate. Sometimes people don't like bidding past the estimate. All right. Is everyone locked in?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Shek, you want to go first?
I'm going to go low-end chalky here just to see how we come out of the gate here. I'm going $30,000.
Huh. I will go lower because I really can't see a world in which it goes for that price. I said $13,000.
Wow.
Oh.
I say the hat's iconic. I went above the high estimate of 43.
Wow.
Me too. This movie came out when I was, 11. It was the biggest movie in my life at that time. And I can imagine the people who were bidding on this are the right age. So I said 48.
Joker's purple fedora went for $41,394. The H-Man gets a point.
Well, I guess they do have trouble getting past that high estimate.
I don't get
So you got a point for being the closest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Easier.
Next up, we have the pair of boots that Julia Roberts wore in the beginning of the movie Pretty Woman.
Yeah. Those thigh-high patent leathers.
Tremendous plot for one of the most beloved movies in the history of cinema.
Watched it recently.
By the way, that is not her
Streetwalker
legs.
gets picked up by a millionaire, and they fall in love.
Yeah.
In that poster that you're looking at right now, that is not her legs.
Yeah, it's not her body.
Are they the boots?
It's not her body at all.
Really?
It's the body double. And the body double somehow absconded with these boots.
Oh, really?
She's the one who put them up for auction.
Ooh,
Wow.
interesting.
Those look like Catwoman's boots from Batman 2, Batman Returns. And did you know Michelle Pfeiffer, when she walks through the empty department store late at night, and she walks around, she takes the whip out, and she goes...
Whipping off heads
and
from
she
the-
knocks off 6 or maybe 8 mannequin heads in one take, it looks like. That actually happened on the first take. She got so proficient with the whip that she, in real time, went and knocked 6 or 8 heads straight off the mannequins. Isn't that insane?
Yes.
Shouldn't this be discussed?
I never heard that.
This should be the top Hollywood story for the last 3 decades, in Dave Dameshek's opinion.
Yeah, rarely discussed.
That body double is impossibly skinny.
Well, also isn't there a scene at the very opening of the movie that kind of moves up her body slowly? I don't think that's there either.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant's true life story.
All right.
let's do this.
What's the estimate? Sorry.
Estimated to go for $13.8 to $20,000.
Okay.
Seems sexist after $41K for Nicholson's
I
dumb hat.
know. Yeah.
Not everyone can wear these.
Not as iconic, but okay. All right. Is everyone locked in?
Yeah.
All right. Check. What do you think?
She walked off the street and into his heart.
That's
the tagline.
It's good.
Walked off the street. Yeah, because she was she was making $20 at a blow. All right. So I'm gonna say $25,000.
Gina?
18.5.
I went low on this one. I went $9,500.
You and I went low too. I don't think this is nearly as iconic or Julia Roberts is nearly as beloved.
dare you.
$14K. 14.
Adam, sorry, what did you say?
9.95 and $9,500.
Okay, thanks.
The boots in Pretty Woman went for $34,495.
What'd you say, Dameshek?
25.
Damn it.
Dameshek gets the point.
Above the high estimate, yes?
You guys are sexist.
15 grand above it.
Wow.
Like you could buy a mannequin head and put the hat on it, but where would you put those? Like to display those big
Lucite.
long
Yeah. Track
strange.
lighting.
Next up, from Star Wars Return of the Jedi, a Stormtrooper blaster that had all of its all-original dressing components, no restoration. Only one of a few from Return of the Jedi in private collections today. Estimated to go for $69,000 to $96,000.
What in the hell? It's not even the Han Solo edition blaster.
Dave, have you seen this movie? It's really good.
Yeah, you should check it out.
I think I saw it. I think I saw some of it once when I was growing up. That's me quoting
Is this
young
the
Adam
first
Carolla.
one, the second one?
The weirdest thing to say. Like, I don't know. I think I saw it once.
This is
You
the
don't
third
know if
with
you
the
saw
Ewoks.
Star Wars?
Right? This is the Ewoks.
Yes.
Fantastic.
What
They
number
turned
one
the tide.
is that?
This is the third one they made.
Did you say Jedi? I thought you said Empire, didn't he? No, he
No,
said Jedi.
Jedi.
Okay. I
All
like
right.
the tripod on Ice Planet Hoth.
Well,
that
this
the
thing's
stormtroopers go with.
yeah, this is kind of a gold standard. The Star Wars. I mean, this is
For collectibles.
Nerd
the
boner.
memorabilia is all that. And
This is a bit of an anonymous prop. I mean, it's one of any number that were on, probably hundreds that were on set. But you're right. For Star Wars, it's
well, they said there's not a lot of unrestored ones left.
Okay.
So,
Dawson, what was the estimate?
96, so 69 to 96,000.
Let's see. Again, it's not 70K to 95. 'Cause we're paying these guys to do
Right.
estimates. They have to pretend like they
Clever.
thought about it. All right. I don't know. I mean, you're right. It's a lot of money, but it's Star Wars, but it's not big time Star. So the way the world works is if you've got Darth Vader's helmet, you're rooting hard for this gun
Right. Oh,
yeah.
because you're like, I paid $100 grand for Darth's helmet 15 years ago. If this gun goes for 100, that just kicked me into the stratosphere. All right.
It's like going to Cut, the steak place.
Mhm.
You
Go
go
on.
there, the people go there, the fancy pantses go there for the Wagyu beef, for like the 2 ounces of it. But the people like me who get in like, the lowest rated steak is a fortune already. I'll just take that one. Right? So that justifies jacking
Dave
up
gets
the
the flat iron steak.
Is that
That's
what
right.
it is?
New York strip.
I wouldn't know, Dave.
All right, Shaq, what do you got?
I'm with Brian. I think it feels a little pedestrian among the many props that would have emerged from the original trilogy. I'm going to go with $80,000.
Low. These fans love this shit. I went 110.
I went 87.
I also went with 80,000.
Whoa.
The Blaster sold for $107,625. Gina gets a point.
The lesson in this game is go high.
Brian, not on the board.
Not even a point. No, nothing.
Next up, Maverick's jacket
Oh, shit.
from Top Gun.
I think we should do
bomber
another
jacket.
game. Wait. I'd like to hear Ace's guess what the range is.
Oh, this is from the original or none from the second one?
This is...
The second one hasn't even come out
Apparently,
yet.
this was in a deleted scene.
Oh.
It is a secondary jacket.
Oh.
Yeah, because they'll have the hero jacket
That's
and
probably
then
in the-
the second one.
Don't you think that's in the Smithsonian?
This jacket features a different arrangement of patches than are seen on the main bomber jacket. It was provided to crews when the original could not be located during late reshoots of the elevator scene between Maverick and Charlie. So yes, it was in the film.
Okay.
In that scene.
Adam's good friend, Tom Cruise.
And he wore it.
Yes. What do you think of the estimate?
I'll go. It's these. By the way, this stuff was formerly $3,500. It's all gone up just in the last 10 minutes. I'm gonna go. I'll go 30 to 45.
Estimated to go for $16,500 to $22,000.
That's it?
Well,
Bargain.
I guess it's not the hero jacket.
guess.
That's the one I
It's
want.
not the
Plummet.
one.
Well, it
All
would
right.
only fit a preteen girl or maybe
Right.
Laxamana.
How could the set dresser or the costume designer not get the patches right? As if there wasn't like
The
hours
continuity.
and hours of footage of the previous jackets.
They had to take off the type. What one? When there was a whole rigmarole where they had to remove a patch for China.
What?
You guys know this story?
No.
In the sequel or in the new one?
In the new one, I think he had one that had a. You can look it up, but they had to remove a patch because the China was pissed about it. It was the whole.
I think it was a Free Taiwan.
Something
like that.
Well,
I
it was just a
remember something like
Taiwan
that.
patch
Yeah.
or something like that. It was that whole thing that. John Cena got into trouble when he was talking about Taiwan or called it a country or something. And then
Right.
China was like, take it back
In Mandarin.
Like, he was like, okay.
Can do.
Yeah, he had a patch. He had like a Taiwan
Right,
patch
yeah.
on there, and they had to take the Taiwan patch off.
NBA players have done the
It
same
was-
thing. Have made apologies and everything else.
It was Japanese and Taiwanese flags.
Right. Got to please our overlords over there in China, everybody.
I'd be a stinker, and I would like put like an old USFL Memphis Showboats patch on there just to see if anybody noticed.
All right, so shall we guess? It was what, 13 to 25?
16 to 22.
16 to 22. Well, that's a tight window there. All right. Not the hero, but the new movie's coming out.
True.
Got to be thinking about that. All right. I'm going high. I'm going 27.
I'm going down with the ship. I said 15. I'm going low every time.
I'm going low-ish, 18.
I'm going 30K.
Whoa.
I've learned my lesson. Go high.
Yeah, smart.
Maverick's jacket went for $55,192.
Stuck with my
Dameshek gets a
original.
point.
Wow.
This is a bad game.
From Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. The villain, Han. His knife hand.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty badass.
This is only one of two known to exist. The weapon is made of metal with 4 real sharpened knives attached to a metal block. estimated to go for $13.8 to $20.7 thousand.
I would love that for salad prep.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive looking, really.
You know, it's interesting with all the iconic 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I told you the aforementioned. Steve McQueen had a moped that he bought and he drove around the set of Le Mans, the 1969 or something. That thing would go for $400,000 today, like anything. And Bruce is an icon, but you don't hear about his gi selling for or his karate shoes or whatever. He's completely iconic, but you don't hear that much about his memorabilia.
And this isn't even his.
Right. All right.
Once removed.
All right. This will be our last one. Let's see where we get.
Can you say the estimate again?
$13.8 to $20.7 thousand.
Yeah.
All right. But again, a lot of young nerds, a lot of cash. Some of these guys started up their own companies. They're coming into their own now. All right. Let's go ahead, Shaq.
I like to ask football players and assorted celebrities like Adam Carolla who they think would win in a fight, and among movie characters.
Brad Pitt.
Well, no, not the actors. Although that's a fun conversation too. It's the actual actors who would win that fight. That's that would be a great. We'll do that next time. I always say it would come down to Jason Bourne and Beatrix Kiddo in Kill Bill. And always.
Is this weaponless or is this?
You can have a weapon as long as it stays within, stays in contact with you. In other words, you can't fire a bullet, you can't shoot an arrow, can't throw a knife.
A lot of rules in this.
Not that many rules, friend.
Just the one.
I don't need your cynicism. You can't be cloaked in armor like Iron Man either.
Sure.
But all right.
He's all tails.
Now, I'm with Ace though. The reverence people have for Bruce Lee, because his name will always come up. If you shame the devil, you don't mention Bruce Lee. Oh, he would beat all. I'm going to go $40,000.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
I'm low at 23. What do you got, Gina?
25.
Dance with the horse that brought you. 12.
Your horse died, though. You understand?
Right. It drowned.
The knife hand from Enter the Dragon sold for $51,743.
Wow.
I mean,
that's the last one. Dameshek's got.
What am I doing in the podcast business?
Until the next auction, that was
Shaq.
Hollywood hand-me-downs.
That was embarrassing.
Well done.
Did Shaq win that?
Yeah.
Nice job.
3 points, I think.
Wow.
3-4 points.
Man, I'm telling you, this is a new phenomenon, and I think it's the story, but I also think people are freaked out about just put your money in a T-bill and let it ride it out.
What about all the 80s like toy? Like I've in Kansas lay 13 Cabbage Patch Kids in mint condition. Do we care about this? Is it just movie shit?
It is. It's a kind of thing where it very much trickled down. It's very trickle downy. If the stuff gets Eric Clapton's guitar gets way too much, and John Lennon's lyric sheets and stuff. It always there'll be some offering. It's like the jewelry store, you know what I mean? You go in there and there'll be the one Beyonce's eyeballing, and then there's the guy who works at Trader Joe's, but there's sort of everything in between. But you can get something in that place.
I mean, listen, think globally, act locally. Ace. I mean, once you pour over your crap. I mean, what about the suit that Adam Carolla wore his first 27 times on Jimmy Kimmel Live?
That's right.
What about that? That's got to be worth $5,000.
Building is festooned in memorabilia.
Of course it is.
That's right. We have the old console over here.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, what would the Man Show sign, the giant neon sign that hung in the studio? What would that go for?
There's definitely the first things first. There's a market for everything. The question is sort of how much, and the stuff that was considered, it's like I always say when I went to the Winchester Mystery House, all the furniture was sold at auction in the turn of the century in San Francisco, or maybe 1930 or something like that. And I said Winchester Mystery House, I'd probably fetch a pretty penny. Like, oh, we didn't say where it was from. And I was like, well, why not? Get a little extra cash. You know, it was considered gauche. Like, you don't do
who
that.
are you wearing?
You don't take stuff and sell it and
Right.
say, this guy wore this or
Gossip.
this guy, whatever, died in
Boyd's
this car.
Right.
Yeah. you don't do it. Well, now everything's for sale.
Yes.
That's the new world order.
Just because you brought up the Winchester Mystery House, I learned something really interesting about the old houses in LA. Do you know why the closets are so small? And the old houses?
It was warm.
No, because back in the day, if it was bigger than like a certain size, it would be considered and taxed as another bedroom.
Oh, right.
Just reminding me of the Winchester house.
There's something to that when you go to all those weird row houses in Queens and they're like 14 feet wide and 1,000 feet deep. And you're like, why would you build this like a book? You know, and I mean, well, we're taxed on the porch or the width of the whatever. That's how people work. But who's the joke on? You're living in essentially a bookshelf.
Yeah, you have to go sideways to the living room.
A lot like Chicago places like that.
But anyway, I love the Man Show sign. I don't know.
Who's to say?
It
Bald Brian's former hair.
That's right.
It didn't formally have any worth.
Pretty rare.
I don't know, the big Man Show sign back there.
Let's see. Let's see.
We like it.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
I can offer up my Porta-Juggy script. I have the original. If anybody
Oh,
wants
really?
a piece of Hollywood memorabilia.
McQueen's moped sold for $66,000 at some point. There was a moped.
It's like a scooter.
That was in August.
Oh, that was August.
Really?
It's barely a moped. It's just like a weird bike thing. But
The bike or the motor?
Yeah, anything McQueen. But again,
Cool looking. Look at the little horn.
it all kind of trickles down. All right, let's. Let me hit X chair here. Well, these chairs are gonna be worth something one day.
Yeah.
X chair. From the first moment I've sat in my X chair, I thought, well, this is what a real office chair is supposed to feel like. I bought an X chair years ago just to have in my home office and was so happy with it. Glad when they came on as a sponsor. Now we have them all here in the studio. I'm very comfortable right now in my beautiful X chair. And you can do massage, you can do heat, you can cool down. It has the LMX massage and temperature regulation exclusively designed for X chair. Plus, the customized support of X-Chair's patented dynamic variable lumbar, or DVL as they call it. Try X-Chair for yourself risk-free for 30 days. If you, once you realize just how much you enjoy it, you'll realize you're no good for your old chair, and you'll never go back. You'll go with X-Chair, right, Dawson?
Go to xchairadam.com now. That's the letter X, chair, 80am.com, or call 1-844-4XChair for $100 off your order. X-Chair is a 30-day guarantee of complete comfort, and you can finance your purchase for as little as $30 a month. xchairadam.com.
Let's take it to another sport. Let's just say it was a marathon. And the Kenyan wins the Boston Marathon. You think he turns around and starts running for the people who have a stitch in their side, who's cramping up, like the guy in the back, running for veterans. Isn't that cute?